All right. We're about to get started. Here we go, everybody. Don versus Fish. We're going to game one. I believe it's a best of one. We're in the 1700 MMR category here, and we're going to Concealed Hill. We do have a nice orc versus human matchup for you today. DonSenilo up in the top right. Real Brawler with the sub. Thank you so much for your support, as always. Go with pretty standard Alto Burrow in the top there. And bottom left, donning the yellow trunks. Following a GLHF from his opponent, Don, it is Fish. In the bottom left corner here. Standard opener as well. So no funny business today on Concealed Hill. We're going to get to the bottom of this game. Who is the better player today? Friday. TGIF at the 4-Player Cup. Gold. We got some big-time players today. No, Hawk is in here. Death Note also. And many others. Got to crank the music up for this one. I don't want to blast music during the game. I want to enjoy the music of Concealed Hill. The peons chopping away at the tree. Get fully immersed in the battle that's about to be underway here. This is going to be an exciting game. Fish versus Don. And we're going Farseer. Human's favorite hero. Our Mountain King coming out for Fish as well. So not opting for the Archmage. Not opting for the Water Elemental support when creeping. We're going to go with MK. Try to lock down some heroes. Try to get some surrounds. All these really nice things that make facing an MK just so difficult sometimes, especially in the early game when you have nothing to deal with that surround lockdown. Stormbolt's such a powerful, potent ability at all phases in the game. Until you start getting those potions of invulnerability, it's a little tough to deal with, I have to say. And Don, coming on down, wants to scout his human opponent, see what he is up to. And he may miss him, but he is sending a Scout Wolf around the bend here, hoping to catch Fish, and looks like he is going to stumble upon him. Fish now has located the Mountain King, knows what he is up against. Power creeping the MK. But Don doesn't care. Don's going right in, getting down to business, getting the work. His wolves are hungry, and they're going to be feasting on peasant flesh. No tower up for Fish, going for a little greedier of an opening here. No defense in terms of arcane towers. I would love to see those right now. Meanwhile, some peasants coming back to get back to work, and the Mountain King getting into some good position here to potentially get a lockdown with the 4 footies here. Very capable of getting us around if he can get into good position here. Tries to lock it in, and the Farseer just sneaks out barely. He does have enough mana for 1 or 2 more Stormbolts, but not going to waste it. Gonna move on up. Maybe continue creeping. Meanwhile, Wolves going to town on the militia back at the home base of Don. Just trying to hinder the early game resources and economy of Fish. And with no Arcane Tower, this will be a little tricky to hold off. Just with Militia, an Arcane Tower would certainly make this quite a bit easier. But the MK has a different agenda on his mind. He wants level 3. He wants to be able to deal with this Farseer the way he wants to deal with it. He wants to do it his way. And he wants it with level 3. Meanwhile, a Wolf taking another Militia as sacrifice. MK doesn't care. Does not care. He's going right back up. Watch Paquito. Thank you so much for the follow. Enjoy the games today. Wantu, that is quite a collection there. Look at that's like the GOAT collection there. You got everybody in there. I love to see that. So much support from Wantu to all the community. It's MVPs like Wantu that keep the community alive, keep the world going round and round. What would we do without you? And I really mean that. You do so much behind the scenes as well, just like our good friend Grinchy here. Grinchy does so much behind the scenes as well, supporting people with money, with his time, and as do you. Thank you for everything that you do. MK got the level 3 he was looking for. This is now a pretty powerful and scary MK, opting for level 2 Stormbolt with the Bash for support. Gonna get a little splash of healing here at the Fountain of Health. Meanwhile, no tier 2 yet. Instead, opting for the double racks footy push. Just check on the macro back home. We do have a Voodoo Lounge, and we are on tier 2 for the Orc player, but Headhunters are here. Tauren Chieftain is out. Tauren Chieftain's going to wander its way down here, but we do have a harassment versus harassment going on. Defend footies here, trying to disrupt the gold line of the Orc player. Those peons are taking some slashes. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain, in the middle of a war stomp there, was not able to get it off because the Stormbolt actually interrupted the war stomp. That was phenomenal right there by Fish. Tauren Chieftain going to continue to go to town. Both players, neither wants to blink. Both of them want to press the opponent. And this Tauren Chieftain, this might be the end of the Tauren Chieftain, and it is. Tauren Chieftain will fall, will be the first casualty of the game. But the peons in the burrows firing all of the spears they can at the Mountain King, as it does just go outside of range. And the defend footies trying to deflect as many arrows as possible back at the burrows while taking down the remainder of the peasant line and potentially a grunt to follow as well. Meanwhile, back at the human base, pretty injured headhunters, but Farseer's in pretty decent shape to take care of these footmen and has done quite a bit of damage to the economy of the human. Only 5 peasants left. Back at the Orc base, all the Orcs aren't mining lumber or gold either. They're just sitting in the burrows, defending as much as they can, but there is 8 plus 3, 11 peons back at the Orc base, as both players now retreat to try to take care of their homes. And this is so tough for the human without that arcane tower. Going to be really tough to deal with the constant barrage of wolves continuing to visit your base. This footy trying to get a kill here. Feed some XP to the MK. Meanwhile, I believe the Farseer probably got Stormbolted and almost surrounded and had to TP back home. Did get the Headhunter kill here. This footy is getting a lot of value chasing these Headhunters around, forcing Don to have to constantly pay attention to them while the footy is just right-clicked on a Headhunter, chasing it round and round and round the globe. MK going to take down the Red Drake camp. I don't know how you're going to take the Red Drake down, but you're certainly going to be able to get the Troll Priest and level 4. Maybe that was the only goal here, or maybe the item from the Ogre Magi, but watch out. Wolves are in town, but they don't smell you. You're a little too far away, but the Orc is coming. Question is, did you see it? And all you're rewarded with is, unfortunately, the Tome of Agility at the moment. This footy will hopefully be able to see this incoming force of the Orc opponent. Still on tier 1, Fish. But behind him is a strong tier 2 beginning from the Orc player. Bestiary coming up. Been on the Stronghold, been on tier 2 for a while. 2 heroes. The Tauren Chieftain did fall earlier in the earlier push from Fish, and maybe that will be enough to help, because as this MK gets up and closer to level 5, he's gonna have solo capabilities of this Orc army. Trying to get locked down a surround on that Farseer, a War Stomp to follow to try to freeze these footmen in place as the Farseer is locked in, is surrounded, might fall here. Level 3 Farseer is going to pay the price for being out of position. Mountain King continuing to press forward, lock down another grunt, get another surrounded on this grunt. This footy is really weak and potentially going to shuffle back, have another footman take its place as a lockdown surround with the help of the trees here. And some great value there by Fish, able to take down the level 3 Farseer and a grunt, giving him just the boost he needs, given how behind he is on tech. And finally now the Scout Tower coming up, maybe finally an Arcane Tower coming up for Fish. And a nice cause of attack for the Mountain King, certainly going to love that. Level 5, exactly what he's been looking for all game. Be careful now, level 3 Stormbolt. This Mountain King is now going to be able to start carrying. And a power spike coming from the human player now. Level 5 MK, so difficult to deal with, especially when your only counter is a level 3 Farseer at the moment. And once Fish is on tier 2, gets that Dispel. And I believe Fish is seeing the Wyverns now, is possibly seeing the transition that Don wants to make. question is, how will Fish respond? Will he transition into rifles? He has no blacksmith at the moment. It will take quite a bit of time, and no one really mining lumber. Only 2 peasants at the moment. Really low on gold count. The resource economy of the human right now is just crippled. Completely crippled. Wyverns coming online now, going to be able to freely fly the open skies with no worry of being attacked by the human at the moment. No rifles, no blacksmith, no tier 2. Blacksmith is now coming online, hopefully trying to transition its rifles to deal with the incoming Wyvern forces, who are now starting their assault on the human player. Wyvern instead going to turn its attention to the pending blacksmith, and the builders building it. Fish's peasants now in a little bit of trouble here. This arcane tower, unfortunately, not going to be too much of a threat to these Wyverns. These peasants are going to start falling, and Fish just, unfortunately, so low on gold, but the MK is just so strong. Another Farseer kill. Unfortunately, we missed that there. Torrid Chieftain doing what it can to war stomp its way out of this sticky situation, but the MK is way too strong. How do you deal with this? A level 5 MK just getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on, surrounding every unit it comes across. Fortunately, no mana at the moment to get any lockdowns of the remaining grunts, but will start turning to the peon line in the back. Going to continue to focus down these peons. This Mountain King has been in this base a while. Meanwhile, back at the human home base, really trying to get this blacksmith up and running. And it's so interesting right now. The Orc clearly has the unit advantage, but the human player has the hero advantage by a mile. If this Mountain King has mana, this Orc army is as good as dead. Wyverns now going to town on the footmen. Not in danger at all from anything from this human army at the moment. No capabilities to attack the air. Fish knows this. Fish wants to get back, reposition, replenish, and get back into the battle. And unfortunately for Fish, the lumber count just continues to be a problem. 32 lumber at the moment and no peasants currently chopping trees. Mountain King and the remaining army wanting to go back, get healed up. And this might be an issue here. Although no heroes are currently online for Don, Wyverns are here. Wyverns are perfectly capable of showing back up to that human base with constant harassment. Really potentially going to be a big problem here. Dealing with this constant harassment, also no wood to deal with this. Not able to get towers up, not able to get riflemen out with 12 lumber. Was able to squeeze 2 out. These 2 riflemen are going to help a ton. But Don knows that he's struggling with wood. He knows he's been attacking the wood peasant line all game. And Fish's economy continues to be extremely low, as does Don's. But Don does have a healthy lumber store.
The town is under siege. Forces are under attack.
And these Wyverns are just going to stick around, continue to be a nuisance. As the Wolves also coming back. Farseer back in play, opting to stay back at home base. Try to defend Torrent Chieftain, about 60% done. Defend footies, not afraid of these burrows. Wanting to chase that Farseer around. Invisible MK, trying to get into good position here. Farseer has to know, but now going back home, Mountain King to handle these Wyverns and a Stormbolt to end the life of one of the 4 Wyverns. The tower is down. And Fish needs to be careful here. This is a battle of wits now. Wyverns at the home base of the human, footies at the home base of the orc. Both players continually disrupting the economy of the other. And as you can see, the economies are just so low. 37 gold for Don, 29 food, 17 gold for Fish. Both players doing so much with so little. And these Stormbolts are just wreaking havoc on the Wyverns. And oh no, a level 6 Mountain King. What is he going to take for level 6? Will we see Avatar on the menu today? Level 6 MK. We have Moonin Ironcliff, now renamed the Moonin Iron Chad, as he opts for level 3 Bash. No Avatar this time. Feels he doesn't need it. Feels he's strong enough. In no danger of death due to spells. Avatar does give you that spell immunity and just extra everything, pretty much. He's going to come right back. Meanwhile, the Wyverns continuing to go to town. Going to park these Riflemen right at the edge of the trees here. Riflemen going to do tons of damage to these Wyverns. And more Riflemen are being trained as lumber is starting to come in for fish, finally. And another continual harassment to the economy of Don. This level 6 MK looking increasingly scary as the game goes on. 2 Stormbolts in stock at the moment. Easily going to be able to lock down this Torrent Chief, then potentially take care of it himself as a... Oh, and a nicely timed Potion of Invulnerability by Don here. Reflecting that Stormbolt, negating it completely. Also burning some of the mana of the Mountain King here. Only 1 Stormbolt left, and a nice Chain Lightning by Don there, taking out some of the weaker footies. Some also compromised footies right in the front here. 1 more footy is going to fall to remain, and a level 6 MK. But again, that level 6 MK so deadly. Is it enough? Only 1 Stormbolt remaining, and now no Stormbolts remaining. Down to 57 mana. Would really, really like the support of a Blood Mage or an Archmage to replenish those mana stores. And even though Defend is on the Footman, reflecting back as much piercing as possible, the spiked barricades of the barracks was enough to take the Footman down. Level 6 MK, hoping he could solo and push back this Orc army. He is able to push it back, but the Orc closing in on the hero levels here. Level 4, level 3. It's going to be harder and harder for this MK to gain experience, even though he is getting amplified XP due to only being a solo hero, but not getting it yet because he's still on Tier 1. If he can just get to Tier 2, get to Tier 3, he's going to start getting amplified experience. A level 10 Mountain King could hard carry the whole tournament, not just this game. Now some Riflemen here. Spiked barricades doing minimal damage to the MK. Wyverns trying to get into position as the Wolves also getting into position, trying to be the first to start thrashing down on those Riflemen. MK opting to Stormbolt the Wyvern backline. 1 rifle is going to fall, 4 remain. Torrent Chieftain in pretty good position to get some juicy War Stomps. Has 2 War Stomps in stock, and 2 Riflemen are now going to fall. 4 Riflemen and a level 6 MK remain. Versus the Air Army, Grunt, Farseer, Wolves, Torrent Chieftain. Composition of the Orc. 1 wolf chasing down the remainder of the human army. Wants this Rifleman. Will it get denied? It will get denied by its own brethren. Nice deny there by Fish. Denying all XP from Don. And wants to get that wolf. Unfortunately, it's going to sneak away. Will this Rifleman be able to get to position to get the kill? No. Unfortunately not. More wolves being summoned to finish off this natural expo of Don. Question remains, will he want to expo at this point in time? Starting to get the gold count, starting to get that economic recovery as 1 peon is making its way over. And again, still stuck on Tier 1 here. Fish just opting for rifles. Might be stuck in the main base at the moment. Peasants going to work on this tree to try to get a pathing. Some pathing room for the Riflemen. Will it be enough? Constant troubles of human getting stuck in their own base. I would know best. I get stuck in my base several times a day. And the Orc is here now. Trying to stunt any of the momentum that Fish is gaining. Fish finally starting to get some of that economic recovery. More Riflemen on the way, hoping it'll be enough to fend off against this Raider Wyvern composition. Invisible Mountain King here, trying to get into great position, potentially to lock down some of these heroes. And the Raiders going to town on to the barracks. I don't believe Pillage was trained from Don. Would love to have Pillage right now. So the barracks does fall. Now only 1 barracks in play to start training rifles, but we do have a healthy rifle count. 7 rifles on the field. 45 food for Don, 38 for Fish, and a level 6 MK. Plenty of time on that invisibility timer. And the farm count is going to be diminished for Fish. Rifleman getting into position to push back the Orc army. Maybe save this farm, preserve your food count of 48, as it will probably drop down to 42 food cap for Fish. Not able to train any more rifles after this. Will be supply capped and getting Stormbolt out onto the Torrent Chieftain. Torrent Chieftain war stomping to save itself. MK pressing forward with the Militia. Rifleman also behind. Wolves, unfortunately, blocking the path in the way. Will get a nice wolf kill there. And a following wolf kill there as well. MK alone now, out of position, getting ensnared by the Raiders. MK feels he has what it takes. Torrent Chieftain, stunned by the Stormbolt, has a health potion to save itself. War Stomp, level 6. MK getting dangerously low. Watch out. MK may fall due to the constant air attack from the Wyverns, and it is enough with an Insare to help from a Raider. Rifles need to get back into the base now. They are in very vulnerable position. Grunts going to town onto the Rifles, moving back to try to get some pressure on the Rifleman. GG is called by Fish as Don takes the game and proceeds to the best of 16.